it's Bangkok. How can you not love it? And I think I love the fact that we're not just being on stage, but I'm actually learning a lot too from the different sessions of the conference. What we were talking about was whether traditional VCs have missed the boat on blockchain investments. And what we actually looked at is even though it may not have been so hyped up back in 2013 and 14, all of us VCs have actually invested in the space, but in a very traditional format of equity. So these are companies, for example, 500 has invested in Chain.com that recently got acquired. If you look at the cap table for Coinbase, you see a lot of traditional players in there. The only difference is that when ICOs came out and in the token format of raising, why traditional VCs were difficult to get in was because we were bound by our obligations to the investors, and we're not allowed to actually invest in alternative assets like tokens with no liabilities and obligations. So it took us a while to actually have to do some legal paperwork of amendments to be able to be in the space of token investing. Well, for us, it's a little bit about, for sure, the blockchain word has been so overhyped lately. And for many of the fellow investors, right, even when we speak and try to educate angel investors, people from family offices, a lot of it we said, hey, how do you cut through the noise? And the one thing we always go back on is looking at what is this technology best for solving? And when we looked at every component of the public blockchain, the best problem it solves is to allow mutually non-trusting parties to transact with each other any items of value, starting with currencies. It's the simplest form of value, right? Payments, currencies. More complicated formats could be data later on. $500 does what we call seed stage, and typically this is the first institutional check-in when in the scale of risk we take, right? A lot of it is technology risk and business model risk. So we're actually quite used to companies we invest in pivoting. We call that pivoting. So for example, quite a few companies, we invested in Omise before it even came out with Omise Go as a token to facilitate the cross-border payment side of the solution, right? So to us, it's just another way of saying, hey, a lot of investors would ask us, oh my God, I want to find the next, Uber to invest in. And we said, well, have you looked at Uber's first deck? It was nothing like what it looks like today. It was a black car service. Would you have invested in a black car service? Not sure. So same thing here as we see that a lot of companies, the smart founders will figure out the right technology to use, whether it's blockchain, whether it's AI, whether it's VR later on, to help supplement their solution, right? To go after the market they find. AI, underrated.
ICOs.
ICO, overrated.
STOs.
STO, overrated for VCs.
China payments.
China payments, underrated.
Singapore fintech system.
Singapore fintech system, no comment.
And the Hong Kong fintech system?
Hong Kong fintech system, underrated.
Okay, and last but not least, blockchain technology.
Blockchain technology, definitely underrated.
Thank you very much for your time, Bonnie.
Thank you for having me.